Thank you for tuning in today. We are here today with a marvelous guest. I am so honored to be in her presence. This is Momma Dee from Love and Hip Hop. I am telling you today we have a dynamic show. A mother's love never loses power. And we're going to tune in a few seconds, but we're going to just let Mother Dee just give her a little information about herself. And Momma Dee, I just want you to make sure you just tell the audience just a little bit about yourself and what you have with you today.
I have Tyler. He's appeared a couple of times on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, a few times, and he's just starstruck and just had to come and be in my lap today.
And you know what? We'll be right back right after this message. And I'm telling you, tune in. Do not touch that channel because we got so much to talk about. A mother's love never loses power.
Oh, it doesn't.
Thank you for not touching it down. I'm so glad that you did not touch that down. We are here with Mother Dee, like I told you earlier. Momma Dee, I'm honored to have you here. And I would like to talk about a mother's love never loses power. One thing I do know as a mother, that we would step in at any time, any given moment, we would step in. So during the show, we have seen you just really just step in and be that mother. You know, I like the way you say you're the queen of your castle.
Oh, yes. A lot of people, I remember first season, used to ask and come on my Twitter or Instagram and say, do you really live in a castle? What they don't understand is that the queen that is in everyone, every woman, can also be the queen they need to be, the queen of their own castle. That entails of my very being, how you think, how a woman perceives of herself. Because if you don't love yourself, how you expect for others in the world to love you?
You're right.
So you have to put yourself up here. Not that you're better. See, I'm no different than any other mother. It's just that my life is on TV.
Right.
Mothers all over the world have done so many amazing things, have given up their lives for their kids, have put themselves in harm's way. What greater love that will put itself in harm's way? That's a lot of love. You know, Jesus did the same thing for all of us. So, you know, there's no greater love than God's love and a mother's love. And you're absolutely right. It never loses its power. From the highest mountain down to the lowest valley.
Yes, and you're absolutely right, because even to this day, my mother, she's not in this world, but you can still feel her love and her power. I still remember the things that my mother say, and it will literally stop me from doing what I used to do. If I did something, I can just hear her say, you're not supposed to do it like that, because once she put that foundation of truth inside of you, it's really nothing you can do. It's nothing you can do. I don't care, you can't walk around it, you can't go beside it. It's going to always show up, even from the grave. A mother love never loses power. And the reason why I can say that, because when Jesus died, what was Mary?
Right there.
Come on now.
She didn't like it, but she was there.
It was nothing she can do about it.
Right.
Was nothing she can do about it. Because one thing I do know, that when mom says something, heaven's answer.
Yes.
Heaven's answer. One thing about the Father, He loved when a mother pray. The Lord loved when a mother's pray. And the reason why is because He sent His only beloved Son through a virgin that mothered His child to bring him back to Him. So a mother love just don't lose its power. It is so close in hand with the Father, it's unbelievable.
And you know, like first season when I was introduced to the world, I received a lot of, flack from people like, stay out your son's business, he's grown. You know what? He's gonna never stop being my child. Yes, he is a grown man, but you know, they used to have, the old school used to say, when you get 18, y'all want you out of my house or you're on your own. But you know, your kids need you throughout their whole lives. They try to become independent, just like we have with our parents, and it's fine with that. But they still need their mother. It's just something about a mother. We're loving, we're caring, we're sharing, we're nurturers.
Yes.
By blood.
Yes.
by instinct. We, without, when I see abuse that is carried toward a woman on any level, that's mentally, physically, socially, spiritually, on any level, when a man or someone does that, they don't even get what they're doing. They're going against the very fiber of their very being. Because women, we bring life into the world.
Yes.
We populate the world.
Yes.
So how could you damage or hurt something that gives you life?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So for you to tear that down, you're eating at the very fiber of your very own soul.
Right. And one thing I do know, and you're absolutely right, a mother, when she steps up to the plate at any cost, I don't care if she's on crack, I don't care what that mother doing. One thing about a mother, she's going to step up to the what? Plate. That child not going to be hungry.
Right.
That child going to get exactly what it is. She's going to do whatever she have to do to make sure her what? Offspring is taken care of. It's all the way down to the fiber of her bone that she's going to go do what she have to do to provide. And not only just provision for the kids, she's also going to make the correction. We don't understand that correction is good.
Oh, yes.
We want, and again, going back to the social media, they say all kind of stuff, but guess what? If it wasn't for you, who could Scrappy come to?
Exactly.
Because when all else failed, mama gonna be there. All relationship failed, mama gonna be there because she's gonna want to have to pick up the pieces.
And you know what? When you say your vows in church or in front of people, and the reverend, the officiating might say, "To death do you part." No, see, men and women can come and go out of our lives, and they do. That's why divorce is so prevalent.
Yeah.
But our kids, that is the real death do you part.
Yes. And
know
you're
what I'm
absolutely
saying?
right, because when my brother died, my mother, she'd never gotten over it, and I did not know that until she was on her grave, that she said, I never gotten over my child's death. A mother can never get over it.
Exactly.
Because remember, he comes out of her, or she comes out of her. So when a child is lost, what happened was that you just took a part of that lady's soul, her spirit away from her. Let me share something with you. My son had broke his leg years ago, and he broke the fibula and tibia bone. I was laying down asleep, and I had a sharp pain to go through my body. And when the phone rang, I said, Tyron broke his leg. I knew it right then and there that my son's leg was broke, because the pain that went through my body was hurt. It was hurt. That connection of a mother is there. I don't care where you at. I don't care what your child doing. You going to know instantly. You're going to know instantly. I had an incident that happened yesterday. I know he'll keep me when he hear this tape. We had an accident that happened yesterday, and I was sitting down. I was laying down asleep. And the only thing I started thinking about was alcoholism. Not understanding why I was thinking about it. And I don't drink or do anything. And I got a message that he was drunk. What I'm saying, that connection, I use that for example to say, when that connection there with a mother, can nothing break it. Nothing can break it. I don't care. And you absolutely said how many females run in their life, how many things they do. You want to know right off the top. You know when your child is in trouble.
Yeah, because my son, little Scrappy, he can call me. And he can say, Mom, I'm just calling to check on you, but it's something in his voice. He's trying to hide something, and I can hear it. He don't understand his choice of words. It's not the choice of words that when you call me, it's your deliverance that I feel. Picking up on something through the phone, I can pick it up. And then a week later, I got to do damage control. Something he wanted to tell me, but he trying to be a man, and there's nothing wrong with that, but they'll wait. I don't know why our kids wait until we have to step in and do damage control. But I guess they call themselves trying to handle it at their level.
And they need to know they got bag up.
Exactly.
They need to know they have bag up. Because one thing I do know that he want to know, do I got some bag up? Because he's not going to make no move unless he know you 100% on his side.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. He want to know that he have bag up. So you know, even though you call it damage control, I call it bag up.
Yes.
Yeah, but Mama Struck, I keep calling you mother because you just a mother. A mother love never loses power. Your daughter, was that really different from raising your son?
Yes, because my daughter Jasmine, she's, I spoiled both of my kids, but her, I tried to keep her kind of tucked away. you know, like a precious stone.
Yeah.
And, but you know, as a mother, we can do all I can. When our kids are small, you know, we can control. We control their friends, where they go, what they see, what they do. We have complete, you know, utter control. When they get grown, you don't, and the decisions they make, whether they hurt us, we agree or disagree, they go and they do it anyway. And it's harder. And when someone came to me and they said, when, you know, they get out of your lap into your heart or something like that, and they do just that. Because when they're grown and they're out your house, they make crazy mistakes, and you can't do anything. And all you can do is pray. You can direct them, ensure them, bring them something, you know, to live by, words to live by. But if they choose not to abide by it, oh Lord, yeah. So I know the prayer of a mother, it's
avails much.
Yes, it does.
Yes, a prayer of a mother avails much. One thing I do know, that a mother's prayer, I said earlier, hits heaven. My mother had prayed in the bathtub, and she was praying one minute, she was cussing in another.
It's all right.
I said, Lord,
stick in one hand, the Bible in the other.
I said, how did you do that? How did you pray and cuss? How did that work? Because you praying and asking the Lord to do this, then you say, you know what, I can't say the words, but she called them all kind of names. I said, Mama, how you do that? That's kind of, do God hear all of that?
Yeah, because when my kids make me mad, I said, now y'all don't cost me a darn trip to heaven. You know what I'm saying? I had a red carpet, you know, man, I was gonna get there, you know, but now y'all don't cost me my ticket. Now, cause I gotta cuss y'all out.
Oh my.
Yeah. Yeah. And when I, you know, and I said several times, and I use this metaphor, I said, you know, when I get to the pearly gates, and, you know, dealing with my kids and their dilemmas and stuff, and the craziness and the antics, I said, when I get to the pearly gates, God will be ready to welcome me in. But unfortunately, all that cussing that I done did, it done cost me so many trips to heaven. It's gonna be a trap door up under me. It's gonna open up and I'm just gonna fall in. Yeah. But I have to do what I gotta do. I mean, I have to do what I have to do. Lord God, Jesus, truly, I tell you.
So you know what? We get the real Mama Dee right here, because one thing I do know, the way she is on TV, she's right here. She just said it's gonna be a trap door. As soon as she gets there, gonna fall down and let her in.
Yes.
Wow, I am so excited. Mama Dee, don't go nowhere. We'll be right back right after this commercial. And I am telling you, it's more to come, because we're not through with A Mother's Love Loses Its Power. Not touching it down. We are here right now with the Real Momma Dee from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. I am so excited. I always say this to my guests. I am so excited. I am the type of person that allow God to be God in here, because one thing I do know, Momma Dee, is where I came from was in the rough side of town, and my salvation and what God have done in my life is so real. And every female in this world know what God created in us is so real. We have an instinct that's never before. And I'm a type of person, I just believe in being myself. I don't want nobody to be around me and be fake and funny, because guess what? We're not going to get nowhere. So I am a type, allow whatever the Lord want to use you to say today, because somebody is hearing this. Somebody is hearing it. A mother right now is going through something right now, because she's worried about her child. She's worried about what her child is doing, and she don't even understand how to let that go. I'm not saying let your kid go. I'm saying let it go. And Momma Dee, it took you a minute to release. You didn't release overnight.
And honestly, I still haven't. Okay. When I got remarried to my husband, I was telling you in the green room, and I'll repeat it for your audience. He knows the level of my love for my kids. Yes. And he said he can just picture himself getting real old and in a wheelchair, and then I'm gonna be rolling him, and then if Scrappy or my daughter Jasmine yells out for me, he said I'd probably just push him, let him ride into the street and just go and see what my children want, because he knows my degree you know, the level of my love for my kids.
Right.
It cannot be denied. Again, first and second season, a lot of people, you know, I faced a lot of ridicule about my son, him being a man and being grown. I'm not going to leave my kids alone. I'm not going to let them completely loose because they're my kids. That's all I have. That's something I can depend on and never worry. And they need me. And they love the fact that I fuss over them. They really do.
Wow.
They love that. Scrappy, I still go to his house and cook his dinners. He's still, Jasmine, she needs me sometimes financially. I mean, I can't walk off and leave them alone if I wanted to.
Wow. And you can't. Even me. Now, certain things I ain't gonna do. My son is married.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna go in his house and cook.
Mm-hmm.
When I turned him over to her,
Mm-hmm.
that was her job.
She better get it.
If she don't, you better call me and I show her how to get it.
Okay.
That's it. One thing and I don't get in his business. I stay completely away from it
Mm-hmm.
because when I have to minister to him
Mm-hmm.
and I have to minister to both of them,
Mm-hmm.
I want it to be effective.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be where, guess what, my voice no longer now is prevalent or have any power in his life.
Mm-hmm.
So I know how to step back.
Mm-hmm.
When he got married, I didn't want him to do it. I'm gonna be honest. I was like, and then when they was walking out, he was standing up there at the wedding, and she was walking down the aisle, and they had everybody to stand up. I couldn't do it.
Wow.
And they asked me why. And my cousin, everybody was looking. Y'all don't have to. I can't stand up. You know, everybody and the queen. I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay.
It's whores in the world.
That's right.
You know, the Bible said, I'm just keeping it 100%
Mm-hmm.
real. Pastor, teacher, preacher, it is it.
Mm-hmm.
It is it. Because in the Bible it said, what did he tell Jose to go marry the what? The harlot. That is a what?
Mm-hmm.
I have ministers in here. That's it. 100%. I'm telling the truth. Everybody is not a queen. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We're not going to even just sit there and say that. Yes, you're a female, but because you're a female don't mean you're a queen.
Yeah.
There are some royalties that you have to have
Mhm.
inside of you in order for that thing to manifest. And you have to know that guess what? You are called, because before you become a queen, you have to be a what? A lady first.
Mm-hmm.
Every woman is not a queen, I'm sorry.
That's right.
It ain't gonna work. Can tell you that.
And I'm, going back to the same issue, I'm just glad that my son didn't go through with his engagement to Erica, because I had planned on showing up at that wedding with a black veil on because I was going to be in mourning. But, God had the last word and I broke it up.
You gonna be in a black van?
Yeah, I was. I was going to be in mourning. I mean, I felt like that. I tried to deal with her, but she's, impossible. But,
And you know what, you're absolutely right. But I had to learn. I had to learn. Because that was his choice, and I understand covenant. He wasn't in covenant with her.
No,
he
he
had
wasn't.
a baby with her.
Yes,
That's all.
and having kids by a man does not mean, ladies all over the world, that you're supposed to marry. It does not mean, ladies all over the world, that you're supposed to tolerate or put up with, okay? It just means that two human beings got together and created life. That's all.
Well, we just heard that real good. And she's absolutely right. They got together. You're not, one thing I say this all the time, when you better be careful who you have your kids by.
Oh,
That's it.
I can sha-la-la-la-la-la-la that. Lord Jesus.
You just have to be careful.
That's
because
why you
you're
have
going
to
end
date before making all these major commitments, because 9 times out of 10, if you date them long enough, you'll see they're not the one. But we get, ladies, when we gonna get it? We just go to sleeping with these men so fast, we get our feelings enlarged into it, and then we get all blinded physically and don't pay attention to what's in front of us. The red flags come out and we refuse to look at them. I have an old cliche. All you have to do is take the time to smell the Maxwell house, because the coffee been brewing.
Y'all just heard that. We just heard this audience up here like they're smiling, and we got an audience full of ladies right now, and they like this. One thing I do know is this right here: the coffee is brewing and induced.
Yes, and it's a strong brew.
Yeah, and I always say this: ladies just can't comprehend. Period. All ladies just don't comprehend. One thing about it, all the red flags are there. If a man tell you he got 5 kids and 3 baby mamas,
that means he's not committed. Because if he can walk off from that, he'll walk off from you. So pay attention.
They all are there. All the signs are there. And you know what? I don't believe in dating. That's number one. I don't date. And the reason why, if I date, I need to date to marry. That's just it. When I made my mistake when I was in my 20s, and then my son was not even a mistake. When it happened to me when I was in my 20s, I learned. It didn't take me long. I'm 47 now. So guess what? If I don't know no better now, I never know no better.
Yeah.
It's just it.
Some people are fast learners. Some people have to keep on repeating. That record keep playing. It's like they just keep putting rewind. They just don't get it.
And they don't get it because they don't want to get it. And that is such another subject because they just don't want to get it. And then when they get involved and get pregnant by the young man, what happened? Now he is penalized. Now he got to carry this for so many years, and your son is doing it. He got to carry this burden for so many years. He a good man, good father, and guess what? He's being ridiculed because that person right now has a problem.
Yeah.
And she didn't have that problem early. She didn't have that problem early.
Yeah.
Because you know, one thing I do know that they were saying on Love and Hip Hop that he was bad with the child support. And I said, you know what?
And let me address that. He has back child support, but the child support she's asking for, you guys, remember when he asked her to marry him? Well, when they got engaged on the reunion, that was part one, right? He moved in with her. So he started paying her bills and not child support. So that's what she's trying to go all the way back and get that. Do you think that's fair?
No, it's not.
I don't think that's fair if he moved in and pay your bills and your mortgage and he stopped giving you child support because y'all together, y'all engaged. But so because you want to be dirty, he ain't with you no more, and reach all the way back there and ask for child support. Well, she's going to get her back pay, fortunately. But what happened was at this season reunion, she left New York. This is what we filmed, the reunion. Tyler, I'm gonna let you enjoy America. Get off. When we left New York and came back to Atlanta, you saw what happened.
Right.
He stood up, he threw a tissue, and where did it go? It went straight down to the floor, where her and her mother came and testified and got a temporary restraining order against my son, saying that he was dangerous. No, boo, you gave it to him and he gave it verbally back. Now, I didn't like the back and forth with either one, disrespecting each other, because my granddaughter Imani's gonna grow up. And I have two kids by two different men. Daryl, Scrappy and Jasmine do not have the same father. I have never disrespected their father, nor like that, or they fathers never have disrespected me. So I was ashamed of both of them acting like that. But Erica started it, as you saw.
Yes.
Only thing Scrappy said, God will not put what on you more you can bear. And all of a sudden she went to cussing and you were MF, and he gave it back to her. Does it make it right? No. But he couldn't take it anymore. He was tired. That's why he stood up on stage and he said, I'm sorry for all these kids that these men don't take care of, but I'm not that man. Wow. I take care. Right now, Imani's with him. They're waiting on me to have my birthday dinner.
Yeah.
So, you know, she's always with Scrappy. I was there when Imani came out of Erica at Crawford Loan. Where was Erica's mama? Well, I told you what she was doing second season. You know.
Yeah.
So, but at the end of the day, you know, I think it's a form of hatred and jealousy because, you know, she didn't have that type of mother that Scrappy has and that Jasmine has, and she's bitter. You know what I'm saying? Because I raised my kids when things are out of order in my house. We have family meetings, and I remember one particular time, even before she got pregnant with Imani, she walked into one of our family meetings, and her answer was, oh, excuse me, I'm not a part of the family. You know, you could have still just sat there. We weren't going to stop talking and having our family meeting, but that just showed you jealousy. And everything that all the rest of the women wished the father of their kids would be about, that he is about, she's constantly trying to destroy him. And I don't understand. If you didn't get that in your life, then you should appreciate it in your child's life. You know how many women would pay for you got men just throwing out babies and going from one woman to the next. They don't care if their child get 3 meals a day. They don't care if they got clothes on their back. These men just keep going. But for a man to get it and to provide, you want to tear that man down. That's awful. And what that says about her, it says that she got some issues that me and Scrappy cannot fix.
Come on now, she just said the gospel by herself right there. There are some things there that was already embedded that cannot be fixed. Only one person can fix it. So what I'm saying right now, ladies that's out there listening, I'm saying this for you, I want you to hear, that you can't ridicule somebody that's doing right.
That's right.
You can't. And when you do that, you will reap what you sow. I'm sorry, you're going to get it back. Now, we didn't ask this Mama Dee to say any of this. You're telling the gospel truth. You can't, one thing about a lie, you can't repeat it the same way.
That's
what
right.
she said on television, she said it is. So guess what? The love and hip in some form of reality, which is real.
It is. And I say that, and I use this word carefully, unfortunately. It's so real, it's too real, because you know, when you read a script, if I'm acting like I'm mad at you or whatever, at least when we get through shooting, all the cameras are turned off, we can go have a drink together. You know what I mean?
Yes.
We can have fun. But unfortunately, no, not Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. No. See, we now, thanks to Jocelyn Hernandez, what she did, the other reunion, when we even come to pick up our paychecks, we have to call 5 minutes before we pull up. There are armed guards with guns on. If our dressing rooms are different, the security has to take us on set. It's so chaotic until they just never know. What people also didn't see at this reunion, there everybody's assigned a bodyguard. From the time we pull up to where we film at 106 and Park in New York, downtown Manhattan, there's a bodyguard assigned to every one of us. They escort us to our dressing room. We have flowers, we have food and something. If we have to go to the bathroom, they got things in their ear. They click on and say, I'm finna escort Mama Dee to the restroom. And then they tell them if the hallway is clear, don't have another cast member in the hallway that we may collide and go to fighting. It is so real. So, you know, first and second season, there was all these things out there. They scripted. I wish the hell it was. Then maybe we can all get along. Because when the lights are off and the taping is done, we can give each other a hug and walk off and smile. But unfortunately, we can't.
So let me ask you something. By that taking place, Mama Dee, we were moving from the subject of mother love, but again, I said I always believe in being honest and real. That's just my nature. Do that affect your character as you walking in the world, the reality?
No, because it does not, and I won't let it, because I try to stay true to form, who I am in Christ Jesus, who I am as a mother, as a grandmother. Because it's better, it's so much easier for me to be who I am than what the world wants me to be. I ain't got nothing to do with that. See, I'm the one who got to bear my own cross. So I accept who I am, what I do, and I accept my wrong, and I own it, baby.
You know what? We'll be right back after this commercial. Touching it down and tuning in. We are here with Mother Dee from Hip Hop, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, and I'm telling you, Mama Dee is keeping it real. She's saying what does said, and she's keeping it the real. She's not fake with it. She's telling the God-traded truth. And this is what we like. Someone that's going to come in here and tell the truth. We don't want nobody that's going to cut up and sugarcoat and ain't going to give it to you. This lady is a mother. She's telling what's going on out there. And she also saying that it's real. This is real. She wished that it could not. They could put some more stuff in. Mama Dee have so much wisdom. So much insight. And Mother Dee, just give it to them. Because they need to see the part that they're not putting out there. And you just said you was the longest running mother on there. That is amazing. Throughout the whole television history, she's the longest one that ever just stood her ground. And she's reason why she's standing her ground and she's out there is because it's real.
And you know, my advice that I also want to share with mothers all around the world, and especially the young mothers, because they ain't built like they ain't stacked like them pancakes, you know what I mean? But you know, be good moms. Concentrate on who you are, love yourself, be true to God, and love your kids, ladies, because that's all you have. And if you ever want to know how you're going to be treated when you get older, God allows a mother to see her kids get grown. Treat your children well. Don't tend to run behind these men, okay? You can't. The Bible say don't trust man, and when we do, what gets done? They fail us every time. But if you concentrate on being the best mother that you can be, we're not perfect people, we're not perfect mothers, but try attempt to be perfect mothers, and you know, every day tell your children how wonderful they are a blessing from God. Love them with all your heart and soul. Nurture them, structure them in the way they should go. And you know what, even though they may stray, it's just like that tree that's unbreakable. It may bend, it may fold over, but it won't break.
That's the palm tree she's talking about.
Yeah.
Y'all ain't ready for that one.
Because you know what? But the palm trees on sinking sand, but on solid foundation. When that wind and the wave come, that's what I like about Georgia clay. It's more stronger. It holds down the roots of the trees. So when the hurricane comes, it takes a lot to uproot it. But when you go to tropical islands or Florida somewhere, time they have the nearest thunderstorm, when you ride through Miami, it's all you see in the middle of the street, palm trees, just like they just pop like twigs. But when you come to Georgia, that Georgia red clay, it's substantial. It's harder. It's not as soft as the sea. What they said, the sands of Bermuda. You know, so it tends to pick up much easier.
Wow.
But mothers, please love your kids. I can't say that enough. Nurture your kids. Show them in the way they should go. They're gonna need you. They're gonna stray. But you know what? That apple that falls off that tree, it will never ever stray too far. It's gonna come back. So it's what you put into a child that makes them come back even faster. Put some knowledge, give them some love, and give them some hope.
Yes. Give some knowledge, because some of you don't want to put nothing inside your kids. You won't even put a word of encouragement in the kids. You talk about your kids, you say stuff, and then you wonder why they're acting the way they're acting. I always say this, your words are your seeds. Then what you sowing in the kids. You can't tell your kid he a dummy or she's no good. You can't say all that stuff, and then when they start reacting out the stuff that you already spoke in their life, don't get mad, because somewhere it didn't start with that person just said something. I just said these same words last night. You know, be careful how you communicate. If your communication is the key to anybody else. Don't be in your house cussing and fussing, because guess what? If you doing that, don't get mad and then you cussing your kid out. Then don't get mad they start cussing you back out. You know, you saying words. I mean, little bitty babies are saying words that they shouldn't even have to say.
Exactly.
Don't nobody want no. I mean, I can't even explain that thing. I don't want my kid cussing me out. One thing, you cuss me out, man. That's a one-way ticket to hell for real. I'm gonna get you.
Shorten your day.
Yes, you shorten it. And you don't want that. So you're absolutely right. You need to nurture your kids. You need to love your kids. You need to make sure your kids understand life in general. You know, you can't teach, the world going to teach them a lot of stuff. But as long as your stuff is there, I promise you, it won't be no two ends against the middle. And you know that, Mama Dee. Exactly. It won't be. You know, Scrappy and Jack can come to you at any time.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care what go on in their life. Guess what? You will be the first one they call. When Scrappy, the few times that he went to jail, who did he call first?
Mama. And you know what, mothers? Put your kids first. When you out here, when you're raising them, they see what you do. They see the men coming in and out your door. And then when they grow up, they start doing the same thing. You wonder what's wrong. Well, they're only doing what they saw. And as mothers, we should be the first example of how we are to be treated. Show your daughters, show your sons how a woman's supposed to be treated. We are the first ones that should show our kids. So when our little boys growing to me and they know how to treat their girlfriends and their wives.
Yes.
And then we show them how much of a lady you should be, so when your daughter grow up, she know what's expected of a man. She know how she's supposed to be treated as a woman. We're the first example that our kids have, ladies.
Yes, yes.
A mother's love. It keeps coming back full circle. A mother's love, again, just keep saying a mother's love will endure all things, hope for all things, reaches, surpasses all things. It is like God's love. It is unremovable and it's steadfast. And I would never, ever remove from it.
Wow. And that's beautiful. She said she would never ever remove from her space. You know, some of us ladies out here today, and she can vouch for them, we give up our seat too fast. As soon as a man come in our life, the first thing we do is put the kids on the back burner. We don't feed them. You know, we're going to fix his plate before the kids' plate.
He'll starve. I'm saying it. Yes, I'm saying it on live and in Carnegie Hall. Put your kids first. See, what you put into them, you'll get it back. It's like a boomerang. You throw it and it comes what? Right back. So what you install in your kids, you'll get it back. Because I'm reaping my benefits. You know, my kids, they're there for me as well.
Right.
You know, they loving on mama. I get the beautiful gifts for Mother's Day and Valentine. My son gives me I give him a Valentine card. For Father's Day, I go buy him a gift for being a good father. And you know, I said that once on the reunion, and I'll say this again. Maybe if I had a father like my son, maybe I'd been a better person.
Wow.
Maybe I'd been. I didn't meet my dad until I was 16. He's dead now, but you know, I buried him and gave him a rightful burial. But you just don't know. And my dad came to Grady Hospital in 1963 and gave my mom divorce papers. He didn't even go around to the newborn nursery to even look at me.
Wow.
But look at me now. But again, still holds. If I had a father like my son, that's okay. God seen a better way, and I made it through.
Wow. When purpose is up on you and you have to get to that place, even though he didn't come to see you, you was already covered. You know what I'm saying? Your father
up in heaven
already knew your destiny and your purpose.
Yes,
so it's almost to say this. I don't know why he didn't do it then, and you met him at 16. But what would have been what would have been a difference? What difference you think would have made in your life?
It would have made a big difference, because a lot of people don't know why I wrote the song I Deserve to Be Loved, because I was physically abused by my father, my stepfather. He abused me and my brother Mark. And when they had their child, my baby sister, no one could hit her. No one could do anything. She was born like she was born with a silver spoon in her mouth. So, you know, so I didn't get that type of love that my baby sister got. I didn't get that type of attention. I didn't get the hugs. My stepfather never told me he loved me. At 16, I ran away from home. At 16, I took a drug overdose because he used to beat me so bad, and my mom allowed it. So I wanted to take my life, because anything, I felt that death was better than living in that hellhole. I felt that. As a young child, that's how I felt. That life had to be better on the other side than it was in that house. So that's why I have the mother's love that will endure all time, that will surpass to the end of all days. And it will never, ever, ever lose its power.
Wow. Wow. We'll be right back right after this commercial. tuning in. I'm so glad that you all did not touch the dial. We are here with the Real Momma Dee from Love and Hip Hop. Momma Dee, I'm so thankful that you came. And I know that we're getting ready to wrap up our segment, but I would like to say this. Your presence is honored.
Thank
Your
you.
wisdom is well given. And we appreciate everything that you have done with the Cathy Howard Show, keeping it 100% real. Because we don't get this. You know, everybody don't get this. I believe today God have given us the best.
Thank you.
This was the best. What they see on TV, we see it in here. And like you said earlier, you wish they could have did a little bit something different, so you all can have a relationship after the show. So we thank you for coming here today, keeping it real with us, and that's what the Real Momma Dee. Momma Dee, we have something that we would like to present to you, because a mother love never loses power, and because of what you have done and what you is doing on national television that all mothers may not ever get an opportunity to do. We would like to present some roses to you and a plaque.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Oh, isn't that beautiful? Thank you. Thank you so much.
We thank you for coming out. We thank you for joining us today at the Cathy Howard Show. And a mother love never loses power, and for keeping it real.
Thank you. Thank you for helping me. And for those who want to reach out to me, can reach out to me through social media. On Twitter and Instagram, it's the same, the THA, Real, REAL, Momma, MOMMADEE. So I do work my own, so I do talk back to people that act like they got some sense.
Yes.
Some people can be disrespectful, but you know, they get blocked. But other than that, I talk to you.
Yes. You know, and again, we're gonna let Momma Dee tell us exactly where she's at, because guess what? On social network, we want you all to connect to her, and she do keep it real. She's keeping it real today. Give it to them one more time, Mother Dee, and we're gonna close out our segment.
It's the same on Twitter as it is on Instagram. I'm not on Facebook, but it's the THA, Real, REAL, Momma, MOMMA. See, I can spell.
All right, thank you all for tuning in, and we'll be right back after this commercial. Tuning in with a mother's love that never loses power. We are here now with two mothers, and I'm here to tell you that Momma Dee just set the foundation for this studio for us with a mother's love that never loses power. And what do you all think about what she just said that took place, mothers? Because one thing we do know as mothers, that the love never loses, the power is always there. And another thing, that we just got so much enlightenment that reality is real. It's not fake. So what we were seeing on television, she said it out of her own mouth, bless her mouth, that she wished things just would have been a little bit differently, that they cannot go outside and have a decent meal together, that reality will turn up your character. So what do you ladies think about that?
That's pretty interesting, because, I mean, I'm thinking that everything was stripped, but to hear her say what she said, that's very interesting, because to hear what she said, I mean, because I thought everything was stripped, but to hear what she goes through by being out in the industry like that, and to see what she goes through every time she's on set, I mean, that's amazing. I would have never thought that things were going down like that.
Right. So what do you think, Mother?
You know, I don't think that I was shocked by her saying that the things that they go through are real, because if you are out and about in the city of Atlanta and you run across, the cast members, you really can tell that the tension is real. You can tell that it's not just a television show. You know what I mean? Just like you can tell that when she states, "I'm never gonna get out of Scrappy's life," like you can tell she means that. That's not, that's not just a script. And so I think that when people are real, they're real. you know, no matter what, like whatever the situation, whatever the circumstance, they're going to be, you know, just as real. Paychecks don't change. Paychecks don't stop people from being real when that's who they are. So I don't think that I was shocked at all by by any of it, you know, because she strikes me, she comes across, you know, the Bible tells us try the spirit by the spirit, and her spirit, it seems like that's who she is, whether the camera is rolling or not.
And it actually did. And she just said it here. Whether they rolling on her or not, wherever she's at, she's going to keep it 100% real. And to say the things that go on behind the scenes, you know, who would have ever thought you have to be handcuffed? Not would you have to have security to that level just to go in the dressing room because of what happened? That, what's her name, Jocelyn caused that much chaos where now they have to have security. Do you know that that could literally lead to some people getting hurt, death?
Yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
that is severe.
It is.
That's severe. And this is a mother. You know, do you have to go through that much in order to be who you are? What's for you is for you, whether you have to act ugly or not.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's absolutely right.
Yeah. So what is your perspective on a mother's love?
Well, like Mama Dee said, being there for my daughters. I mean, just being there for them when they need me, when they need someone to talk to, and like me, as being at the time was being a single mother, raising my two daughters by myself, and to see what came out of them after I raised them, they have truly made me proud. I mean, it wasn't nothing that I would do for them. I've been over backwards for them, did things I shouldn't have done to make sure they had food on their table, had the best way of living, the best home to live in, or what have you. So now that they're grown up on their own, they have truly made me proud, and it's not nothing that they won't do for me. Every time you look around, Mama, come go with me. Mama, here you go. Mama, I love you. Mama, I thank you. Mama, I just appreciate you. And that just makes me feel like I've done my job as being a mother. A real mother.
Wow. It's nothing like doing your job as being a mother. There was a lot of times when I was raising my son, that I had to take a lot of unnecessary blows from the world because of what I was raising as a young man. A lot of unnecessary pain that I had to endure, a lot of suffering, because I remember I had to make a decision between my son and a shelter. I became homeless, and I had to make a decision. And I looked at my son, he was tall, he was 15, and I looked at him and I still saw that child. And the outer appearance did not show that. But when I looked, I saw the little boy. So I had to make a decision to go to the shelter, and we'd be separated because he looked like a grown man. And to go to the shelter, the girls that's in the shelter, the women, don't see him as a kid, see an adult, a man, and he loses a lot of everything. Or I had to make that decision to be homeless and sleep in a salon on the floor. And my decision was to sleep in a salon on the floor because I did not want my son to be tainted, corrupted. I didn't want him to be taunted, haunted, you name it. I didn't want him to even experience that life. So my decision I had to make as a mother was so powerful. I sat him down. I said, listen, we can do this together or we'll be apart. And he looked at me with tears rolling down his eyes. He said, let's do it together.
That's right.
I kept him in that school that he was in, which is a Christian academy. He graduated from school. I still had that mother foundation there. Even though we didn't have the foundation over our head the way we had, but because we connected with the wrong thing. And we shared to the connection with the wrong thing, church folks will hurt you to the core.
Yes.
Church folks will do some damage to you to the core.
Ma'am.
How do you be, and I that's why I am who I am today. My studio is a Christian studio. We function sometimes as a church because I'm going to make sure I bring the word. But one thing I would never do, and I said this, I said, Lord, I would never, ever, ever. I'm not saying I won't go to church, that's not it. But I would not put that type of cap that traditions
That's right.
do to people. God do not hurt people.
That's true.
You have not seen the Bible. He's a God of love, unconditionally. Where did you get all this pain that you preaching in the household of faith, but yet you have pain, and your pain is filtrated? What comes from the head flows down. Why is it spreading cancer throughout your congregation? So I had to make that decision to say, you know what? Let's stay together. I had to call and ask to be released from the ministry. Okay, I had to be released. I said, I would like to know how to be released from this ministry. He said, go with the blessing of the Lord. I ran. I just needed my blessings.
Right.
When a child leave home, because he was my covering. When he released me, he said, you know what? You just go with the blessing of the Lord. That's all I needed was that cue. I didn't need the questions, the answers, the certificate. I didn't need the release form. I didn't need none of that. Jesus was my release form. When I went visit the church, they was acting crazy. Well, okay, that's fine. You ain't the church. What happened was that the church that I'm at now, that's over the covering of my life, he was laying in him and his wife sleep, woke up. The Lord was dealing with him about letting me be at that church. He said, I was where you was at. I cannot judge you. That's not my job. My job is to cover you. I knew that he was my pastor. I knew that he was my spiritual father. I knew that she was my spiritual mother. To this day, I'm here in Georgia. 4 years, have not changed covering, and ain't going to change covering. That has been, unless God give me a husband who have become my covering. But until then, he's Apostle Carl Borkney is my covering. He's my spiritual dad. Matter of fact, he's almost like my biological dad, because guess what? He know what I'm going through. I don't have to call. The connection is just that strong. When my dad died, he wasn't there, but guess what? He said, you're not a bastard child. He knew that I wasn't a bastard child. I had parents, and they was it. When my mother died, she was right there. Pastor Tiny was right there. They never, I mean, they called and check on me. Even when I don't even call in, the Lord dropped me my spirit daughter. And I'm telling you, when they chastise me, whew, parents chastise their kids. Do Jesus chastise us?
Oh.
Yeah.
He said he chastised those that he what?
He loved.
That's
right.
Chastisement is good because he wants the best out of your life.
That's right.
He wants the best out of your life.
That's absolutely correct.
He wants the best. He wants you to make it to the promise. He wants you to get the promise. Only thing can hold us up from getting where we have to go is that we won't let go what's inside of us.
That's right.
That's the only thing that it does. It does that. So a mother's love, no different from a father's love. The Father loved us so much that he sent his what? Only begotten son. She only expressed the love. The part that I just baffled me is that what she said was the security. You mean to tell me you can't tape and you can't do that just did it. It did.
Yeah, that's the industry piece of it. You know,
Yeah.
That's the industry piece of it. Her mothering, her love for her children is real, but that's the industry piece of it.
Yeah.
You know, and so trying to bring those two pieces together and still standing her ground. You know, so I can understand how it could be. I can understand how it could be volatile.
It's
You
a
know?
good way to put it.
Because anytime you have something that's 100% real, and then you have something that's a facade, and you try to collide them together, somebody has to come out standing. You know, and so the way that they come out standing is security. This is how we're going to make sure, you know, nobody gets hurt when this collision happens.
But you know what? It's, you know, I just don't like captivity. I'm just so free.
Right.
I just don't like captivity.
Right.
I mean, it literally does something to me. You don't cage me up, and I know that where we're going, all of us that's connected to the studio, where we're going to need what? Pretty soon, security.
Oh yeah. No doubt about that.
Yeah,
Yes,
we're going to need security.
absolutely.
And that alone has really, really bothered me.
Absolutely.
That that your life going to change to the point where we're going to need somebody to take us from here to the car, from here to the dressing room.
I just had a conversation with my daughter Christina the other day, and I was telling her that I was speaking to a group of women, and one of the women got upset, and Christina said, well, Mom, is it always like that when you speak? She said, do people always get? I said, well, anytime you go into a situation and you're the truth bringer, anytime you're the truth bringer, there's going to be somebody who's not happy with that. There's going to be somebody who, as much as we believe in Jesus, there's somebody who dislikes him just that much as well.
Yeah.
So just like we want to put him out there, they want to take us out. I said, so at the end of the day, you know, I'm like Joan of Arc. I came here for this. I ain't scared. It's what it is. But
Wow.
you're not gonna stop me from doing what I came here to do.
Wow.
So, you know, it is what it is. If I need a bodyguard, you know, that's okay, because this is what I know for sure. My bodyguard's got a bodyguard.
You know what? She just freed me from captivity right there. Because if I came
My
here to do
bodyguard's
this,
bodyguard.
I might need a bodyguard. So my bodyguard got a bodyguard,
Yeah.
and I got a
His
bodyguard.
name
So
is
it's just
Jesus,
Jesus.
you
Come
know?
on. So you know what? I need to let the bodyguard away, because you know what? Sometimes you just need help. You just need help understanding where you at.
That's
Because I did not like it. I mean,
Yeah.
I just love being
Embrace it.
free. But again,
Embrace
it's not worth your life, because when God is getting ready to take you to higher and
right.
greater heights, you know, you're going to need that security. That's what the armor bearer for.
Embrace
You're going to
it.
need it.
Yeah.
You're going to.
This is the example that I gave to my daughter. I said, you know, as parents, when it comes time to file taxes, I said, you know, everybody wants that earned income credit. And I said, I had a really good girlfriend of mine. She was really upset one year that she didn't qualify for the earned income credit. And I said, well, listen here, you got to decide. Do you want to stay in the tax bracket where you get the earned income credit, or do you want to be in the tax bracket where you just make so much money that you don't need it? Right? Right? So do you want to stay right here and walk to your car by yourself, or do you want to elevate and get your bodyguard?